To the story now, the terrible state of roads in Kondo municipality in Mpumalanga has been laid bare. A group of government ministers, provincial authorities and police management visited the area following the murder of 3 ANC members, including Councillor Sibonelo Mthembu. But their convoy got stuck and they were forced to wait while a grader fixed the road for them. The irony of it all, the road is good enough for locals, but not their leaders. eNCA's Pamandla Koke has the story. All right, let's actually take you to my colleague Aviwe Mtila, who's been monitoring the start of a school today. Aviwe, what is the very latest from where you are?
Fundo, it's those snaking queues that we're seeing one more. It's day one, of course, of the coastal schools opening. In the Western Cape, it's no different from what we saw last week as those inland schools open. It's the snaking queues at the different district departments. We're in Paro now, where the parents are scrambling, desperately trying to get their children in. There obviously a myriad of issues on the ground, but I want to get a word from this one lady here to see. She's actually been attended to. I'll come back to her, but she's got an interesting case. She said that she applied back in March already, Mfundo, but the school that was given and designated to her does not exist. Hence, she's now trying to get the details around that. In fact, let me get more people on the ground. Why isn't she at school?
Then I applied Putin. Then isikolo abamfake kuso abamthathanga kwezizithathu. Bazompaka kwisikolo esisedela esinegangster so akazukwazi akakho safe phayana nduzukwazi umphaka ka so ngcono bamcancelishe then bamfake kwinani applicants.
Sine gangster, you're not happy with the state of the school itself?
No, I'm not happy at all.
Okay, she applied timelessly. She's in fact with her daughter here in uniform. She says that she applied to 3 different schools, but the school that was allocated to her by the Western Cape government has gangsters. So she's not happy that her child must go to that school. In fact, here's the lady that I want to catch up with. Siswam, when's the kandoni kuwe?
Because kaloku bendi-applied last year for umntana ngoMarch, then amane ndifumana messages. Last year bandifumana message bandifumene e-Edson Century City High for umntana. Xa ndifika ke ukuphaya akwaziwa kwesa sikolo kukho iCuro, which is a private school. Ngo ndizoqonda ubhuti uthi apha egeyithini inengxaki le nto sikolo because abantu bajika apha. So ndikuthiwa ndizawungezwa phakathi ke so ndizawuba ithina into xa ndingene ngaphakathi.
So she applied Mfundo back in March already. She was given this particular school. It's called it's in Century City. This school apparently is problematic, she was told here, as she's tried to inquire with the whereabouts of the school. So she says that she's going to be let inside and told exactly what's happening. But took 10 ngesikolo siswam.
Andikava ngabo ndizapha ndizova ubhuti uthi ingxaki so ndizawungeniswa ngaphakathi ndizawuva xa pha ngaphakathi kodwa sona ndisuka pha kulaa ndawo icollege endala mntu asesecurity sina 7 years yavalwa asikho esi sikolo ngofuna ndiphinde ndinyuke ndisehla nangoku apha umntana amhlele endlini akafundi.
Non-existent school, Mfundo. What do they say about it? Do they know about the school?
Uthi ubhuti ingxaki so andiyazi uba ingxaki njani nam ndisame apha etyhwini ndizawuva pha ngaphakathi. Icacile noba sikho kaloku cause ndile pha iCuro, i-private school, iCuro Century City High. Lena kuthiwa i-Edson Century City High ayikho pha.
Okay, she says that they're not specific in terms of what the problem is with this school, but it seems that it's non-existent. When she went there to the actual address, she got there and was met with a Curo, which is a private school, of course, not part of the departmental schools. So she's going to go inside now and be further told. Remember, it's still day one now, so she's panicking as to the schooling of the child itself. In fact, let me catch up with one more parent and find out what's happening. Ma'am, thank you for joining us at eNCA. I see you've got your son here.
Yeah.
Why isn't he at school?
Because why he doesn't have a school. We currently stay in Delft at the moment. I applied in for him for grade R, and then it was said to me Voorburg grade 1st privilege because I stay in Roosendaal. Road is like dividing us from the school, but because we don't stay in Voorburg, he can't go to school there. So I got the school for him in Piala, which is so far. Every morning he has to walk. When it's winter, I have to keep him at home because it's raining a lot. I can't walk with him. I'm unemployed. I can't put him on transport. So what must I do? I must keep the child at home. At this point, I'm going to have to homeschool him if he doesn't get to school. Then I have to do the job of the teachers who's going to pay me because I can't go work. I have to teach him at home.
Okay, Mama. I hope you get help here inside. at the Metro North Education District. Those are the offices of the Western Cape Department of Education in Parow. Those cases that we heard, especially that peculiar one, Mfundo, of the non-existent school. Lady applied back in March, was given the address of that school. When she comes to inquire and checks the address, it's not even an existing school. So hopefully she'll get assisted inside here, alongside these hundreds of parents that on day one of the coastal schools reopening, they're out in queues trying to ensure that their children get placements.
Particular story is honestly shocking that there would be no school there when she physically went there. But on top of it, she's now been given a status, having applied on time, she's been given the status of late applicant.
Very curious indeed. I saw that it's like she's part of those 212 very late applicants. Remember, there are those that applied in December in the Western Cape that are part of those 212. But in terms of the late applicants in general, there are some 25,000 plus. Remember, the closing date of the applications here in the Western Cape were on the 15th of April. I remember speaking to some of the parents even that applied before that yesterday. One of the parents applied to 10 different schools, didn't get allocated to one, so she's one of those frustrated as the schools open that their child won't be in those places. We do know, of course, there are 955 learners that are yet to be placed, the official number from the department, but we'll see then what that number amounts to on the ground here.
Speaking of the department, when you spoke to the MEC a bit earlier, he was non-committal as to when exactly these children would be placed. I mean, in Gauteng, we were being told of in 10 days' time. In this instance, he's just saying that now that schools are open, they'll get some sort of an indication of where space exists and then they'll start the placing. But non-committal insofar as some sort of a time frame, the number of days.
And it seems like a wait and see, Mfundo. They actually want to see the places in the various schools and see the gaps there, the children that don't return, in order then to place some of them. Non-committal at all, and the MEC suggests that they must come to the various district departments and find out what's happening then from the district department. But I put it to the MEC that some of the parents, as we saw yesterday, keep on being turned back when they come to the district department themselves, told to go back to the actual schools and find out what the actual issue is, whether it's placement or whether those schools aren't full. So there is that lack, a gap in communication, it seems, between the district departments and the schools themselves, but not committing to any time frames. As we heard, some of those parents here were told to come back in February only. You can imagine that's missing at least nearly a month's schooling, told to come back in February. So no commitments as to actually when this will be resolved. As we heard in Gauteng, at least they gave a date that by the end of January, all those, I remember the last number was 571 learners in Gauteng that were yet to be placed, will have placement by the end of January, but no commitment in the Western Cape as to when the 955 learners that are yet to be placed will be placed in the various schools.